All right, so I'm down here in South Scottsdale, right around the corner from Old Town, and here at a popular park called Chaparral Park for people who live down in this area. It's a wonderful place to come visit, hang out with family and friends, bring your kids down here. They do have a lake, and I'll talk more about that here in just a minute. But I thought it was a great day to get out and about. Weather's about 70 degrees here in Scottsdale. Nice winter day. Really don't need the vest, but it gave me an excuse to put one on. Another bright sunny day, as you could probably see, not a cloud in the sky. And what I wanted to talk about today is, if you've contemplated moving to Scottsdale, maybe you need more information, you don't know what are all the pluses and minuses or the pros and cons. And, Scottsdale caters to all walks of life, from young married professionals, families, all the way up to retirees. It's the most popular suburb in the Metro Phoenix area. And people come, it's a highly sought after destination place. Obviously here in the wintertime, people come from all over the country. So what is it that draws people here? So I thought what I'd do is go ahead and try and unpack some of that, because we've got golf, dining, shopping, great entertainment. And we'll just take a few minutes and I'm gonna go through and share what I believe are the pros to living here in Scottsdale. But hey, it's not all lollipops and unicorns. There are a few negatives, and we'll go through those as well. So with that being said, hang tight and we'll get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about Scottsdale and the surrounding area, then go ahead and subscribe below and be sure and tap that notification bell so you'll be the first to learn about Phoenix. Hi, my name is Rick, and the team and I, we get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you every single day looking to move to Scottsdale, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving next week, next month, or even a year from now, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, and we'd be more than happy to help you make a smooth move to Phoenix. All right, so let's go ahead and try and unpack some of the pros of living here in Scottsdale. The first one obviously that comes to mind is our weather. We've got amazing weather here in Scottsdale. As you can see over my shoulder here, we got another beautiful day. It's a bright sunny sky. That's why I'm wearing my sunglasses. It's a beautiful blue sky, not a cloud in the sky. And it's like this 10 months out of the year, 10 to 11. We only get about 10 inches of rainfall a year, so the rest of the days in the wintertime, obviously it's beautiful. And summertime can be a little rough, and I'll talk more about that later, but we love our weather here, and it's great to be outdoors. We're coming in here in the month of December. I'm here in a short sleeve shirt, got shorts on. You can't see that, but quite comfortable. I did put my vest on just to make myself feel better, because we don't get to wear jackets here very often. And that's one of the reasons that people love coming here. I mean, we get people from all over the country, obviously come here in the wintertime, and they absolutely love it. So it allows you to get outdoors, have some fun, do some things. Lots of activities here in and around the valley. With outdoor activities, and I'll go into more of that in just a little bit. But obviously our first deal would be our weather. Another nice thing to Scottsdale is it's a very clean city and also a very safe city. The city really prides itself on taking care of its roadways. They're well maintained. You don't see potholes throughout the city of Scottsdale. They're constantly working on a road, so you got to be a little patient driving around. You don't see a lot of trash either, and it's very, very clean in that regard. But also what's interesting, and you're going to notice this in Scottsdale that you're not going to see in most of the other cities, is just the structures around the freeways. The construction walls underneath the freeway, the support system, your retaining walls along the freeway, and your noise barrier walls. Most of these are all painted in some kind of a desert theme. Either cactus are inscribed on the walls, or you might see a lizard. It's all painted in more of the neutral earth tones. Your light greens and beiges and things like that. But it's just more than driving down the freeway and seeing this massive concrete wall. You're going to see some type of inscription on the wall or some kind of design of some sort. And Scottsdale really prides themselves on that. And another thing they do too on our freeways is they got the special rubberized coating on our freeway system that goes through Scottsdale, so it really helps with the road noise in your vehicle. And that's really something that's different that you don't see in the other parts of the freeway around town. And another thing that they do, which is really interesting, is they have a monthly bulk trash pickup. So you get a schedule. It tells you what week of the month they're going to come by your area, You just put your major stuff out that you want picked up, and they'll come, you put it on the curb, they'll pick it up and take it away for you. So definitely something that's different than some of the other cities, but they really take good pride on keeping it clean. Another nice thing about living in Scottsdale is we've got world-class shopping. We've got our famed Scottsdale Fashion Square, the largest indoor mall in all of Arizona, and it has all your major name brand stores that you could look for, and it caters to all different price points and budgets. We also have, further up north, we have our two outdoor malls. The Scottsdale Quarter and Kierland Commons are literally across the street from one another. They've got major shopping there as well, and they also have some phenomenal restaurants. So those locations really caters to some great restaurants and shops. And then we have all our little neighborhood centers in and around the Scottsdale area. So there's plenty of shopping to do, from local boutiques to high-end fashions, and all prices and stores in between. So you can definitely get what you need in and around these areas. You know, another great thing that Scottsdale offers is our dining and restaurants. We have some amazing restaurants scattered throughout Scottsdale, and we cater to all different cuisines. I mean, if you love Americana food, if you love Mexican food, which happens to be one of our favorites, if you want a nice high-end steak, burgers, Asian food, sushi, Korean barbecue, Indian food, Thai food, we have it all. So if you want to go out and get a good meal, you can find them not only in the shopping areas that I just mentioned, but there's also these little neighborhood centers too. Have some wonderful restaurants. My recommendation, obviously in the wintertime, is you call and make reservations just to make sure you're not waiting too long if it happens to get busy. It does get crazy this time of year, but man, you can't go wrong with the food down here. There are some great choices for you. Scottsdale is also known for its golf. We've got world-class golf courses throughout Scottsdale. Scottsdale's home to over 40 golf courses. I think, believe it or not, there's about 200 in the Metro Phoenix area. But we cater to all budgets. Whether you want to get on just a little small executive course that's affordable, you want to move up and get into some of the more higher end courses that are public, and then you can get into some really private, excluded golf courses. So it really depends on what fits your budget and what it is that you're looking for. But we get people come from all over to come down here in this time of year to experience our golf. Obviously, we're known for our Phoenix Open. It's the largest spectator sport on the PGA Tour, and it's here in the end of January, first week in February. But if we have a good week like what we have here behind us, and it's sunny and there's no rain in the forecast, it's not uncommon to have 500,000 people show up for that week, even upwards of maybe 600,000 plus. But it's a stadium course designed to accommodate a lot of people. You've probably heard of our famed 16th hole. Over the years, they've completely enclosed it, and it can get a little hectic after people have had a few cocktails and the pros come through there. But most of the pros like coming here because the weather's so nice, and it's a good course. Another great thing about Scottsdale is there's just so much to do here. I mean, I can spend a long time talking about all the activities, but whether you want to be indoors, we're known for our outdoor life here. Obviously, 7, 8, 9 months out of the year, depending on when you want to get out and hit the trails and things like that. But we've got our mountain preserves. It's great for hiking. It's great for trail riding, mountain biking. People run up and down the hills. There's horseback areas that you can go enjoy. So there's just a lot of things to do here. We have, if you want to be indoors, we've got an aquarium. We have a butterfly pavilion. We've got a Great Wolf Lodge, indoor water park. So there's lots of things to see and do around here. So it really just depends on what it is that you like. We're known for golf, as I mentioned earlier. Baseball's a big thing, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. But a lot of indoor activities, a lot of outdoor activities. So you can just really go out and have fun. One of the nice things also about Scottsdale is if you like to ride a bike and you're on the street, they've got a lot of designated bike lanes here around Scottsdale. So you got plenty of protection there to go out for a ride. But we really cater to the outdoor life. We like to see people get outdoors and enjoy themselves, take advantage of the nice weather that we have. You know, another nice thing about Scottsdale is we have some of the lowest property taxes in the country, believe it or not. Even though we're a high-end community here in Scottsdale, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, our property taxes are very reasonable, some of the lowest in the country. You know, there's certain calculations that arrive at it, but on average, it's about 1.3 of the assessed market value of your home, which is really inexpensive. I've had a number of clients over the years just say, I can't believe how inexpensive property taxes are, obviously compared to places like New York or Chicago or maybe LA. But here it's very reasonable, so you can factor that in when you're looking to purchase a home. And that's definitely something that we can help you through and guide you through that. So make sure you like this channel, be sure and subscribe below and hit that notification bell. We want to keep you updated on all the current things that are happening here in our market. But that's definitely something to keep in mind when you're looking for a home here in the Valley, especially here in Scottsdale. You don't have to pay a whole lot in property taxes. All right, if you're a frequent traveler and you need to get to the airport, Scottsdale provides that for you, which is really nice, depending on where you live in Scottsdale. Scottsdale's a very long city, kind of a narrow city on the east side of Phoenix. It's over 30 miles in length, but if you're in the southern part of Scottsdale, Old Town area and things like that, you can be as close as 10 to 15 minutes from the airport, depending on traffic. You move a little further up north, yeah, you could be as much as maybe 40 to 45 minutes. So it just depends on where you live in Scottsdale, but just take that into consideration. I mean, great place to take is the 101 freeway. That's our main freeway that runs through Scottsdale. You take that south, you hit our 202 west, and that'll take you right into Sky Harbor Airport. But it's an easy drive, it's all freeway, and you just have to kind of factor that ahead of time to make sure that you get there on time. But depending, like I said, depending on where you live, really depends on how far you are from the airport. All right, so that's a few of the pros about living in Scottsdale. There could be a few more, but I kind of want to just highlight some of the bullet points of what's a real drawing card to Scottsdale. So not only talk about the cons or the negatives of living in Scottsdale, obviously the flip side of the weather is our weather in the summertime. Yes, it does get hot here. It's not uncommon to hit 115 degrees plus in the middle of summer. But the great thing about it is, you know, unless you work outside and that's a part of your daily job, you know, you're going to be inside or you're going to be in air conditioning, whether it be your car, you're driving in your car, your office, you're at home. You know, more and more people are working from home, so you got air conditioning in your home. But if you want to get outdoors, and I was born and raised here, so I'm kind of used to the weather, but the heat doesn't bother me that much. You just want to make sure that you get out early in the morning. You know, you got a couple hours in the morning when the sun first comes up, and it's really not that unbearable, or late evenings when the sun goes down. So you just plan that accordingly. If you do want to get out and exercise, the best advice I can give you anytime throughout the year, whether it be the wintertime or the summertime, is make sure you're hydrated, dress appropriately, especially in the summertime. If you need to cover up, sunscreen, whatever it is that you need to do, make sure you apply that. Keep your cell phone charged, keep that with you. And another nice tip is maybe let somebody know where you're going. Occasionally we do have some accidents, mainly in the summertime, of people that get either lose their life or get severely hurt due to dehydration. That's something that's quite common here, especially if you're not used to this kind of heat. But if you prepare ahead of time, you'll be okay. Another challenge or a negative living here in Scottsdale, because our weather is so good and Scottsdale is such a drawing card for people around the country to come here and visit, our traffic can be a mess in the wintertime. We can get, you know, our surface streets get jammed up, the freeways get backed up. You know, they say we get almost 11 million visitors a year coming here to Scottsdale, and they bring in a few $1 billion worth of revenue, which we enjoy and we need it for our city. But just know coming here that the traffic it can be tough. And not only that, drivers aren't very good that live here. You're gonna see a lot of accidents, you know, around the city. People drive fast. You got people coming here with money. They've got, you know, fancy sport cars and things like that. They're driving fast and crazy. So you just have to be careful when you're driving around Scottsdale. I always taught our kids, you know, drive defensively, and just take that into consideration. So obviously, as I mentioned before, the restaurants and things like that get busy in the wintertime because of the amount of people that come to visit or live here. So you just have to plan accordingly. But just know that when you're driving around town, to be safe, and it'll be okay. You know, another challenge that we have here living in Scottsdale is because Scottsdale is so spread out, as I mentioned, it's a very long city from the southern part of Scottsdale all the way to the northern part up to the mountains, is our lack of public transportation. We don't have, obviously we don't have a viable subway system. We do have some buses that go around, but for the most part, you're gonna make sure you need to have a vehicle to get around. We do have Uber and Lyft, like everywhere else, but it is a challenge getting around this town, and you just wanna make sure that you're prepared. So make sure you have a vehicle when you come down here, or rent a car if you're gonna come visit, because otherwise it's gonna be a challenge getting around town, and you're gonna make sure you have that covered. All right, I think I'm gonna wrap it up with this last con for most people. For me, it doesn't bother me so much, but people that move here, they wanna know about our critters and our wildlife. Yes, we're known for our snakes. Obviously, the rattlesnake is a big critter here in town, so you gotta be careful of those when you're out and about. We do have, believe it or not, we do have some good snakes, if there is such a thing. We have our king snakes. And the great thing about the king snakes is they'll eat the rattlesnakes, plus all the other little critters around your house. But you won't see them too often, but you just have to be careful because they are out and about, especially this time of year. They get active in the wintertime, much the same way we do, right? And we like to get out and about. Also, we have, we do have scorpions. We've got various spiders and things like that, black widows, wolf spiders, and the like. We do have our little roaches and crickets and all the good stuff that most people have. But if you just pay attention to the scorpions, they can be a little bit of a problem. They are more prevalent in certain parts of the valley, mainly the new constructed areas. You'll see more. You get up closer to the mountains, up in North Scottsdale. Yeah, and you might see a few more of those up in that area. But for the most part, they're not real bad. If you do get stung by one, depending on how you react, you might have to go and get that taken care of. Everybody's a little different. And we do have our birds of prey. We've got hawks and owls and things like that. So I tell people, especially if you've got small dogs and you go out for a walk, just be careful of those because we do have lots of wildlife. We're known for our coyotes. We do have bobcats. We do have what is called a javelina. It looks like a pig. It's about the size of a medium-sized dog, and they can be a little agitating. Personally, I think they're so ugly they're cute, but for most people, they don't really want to have to mess with them. And occasionally you'll see a deer. Saw one not too long ago up in the North Valley, but you just have to, when you're walking your dogs or you let them out in the backyard, especially the smaller ones, just be aware of your surroundings. We fence in our properties here with block walls, most of them, and but that won't deter a coyote or a bobcat. They'll just scale that and up and flat and get right in the backyard. So you just have to protect your animals. If you're out on a walk, occasionally you will hear about, some of these animals, mainly the coyotes or possibly the javelina trying to attack your dogs, but it's more seldom than common. So if you're just aware of it, you should be just fine. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video. It gives you an idea of some of the positives and some of the negatives of living here in Scottsdale. I'd love your comments down below, and be sure and like this channel. It definitely helps grow our channel. And be sure and subscribe below as well. What I'm going to do now is just kind of take you on a little tour, kind of show you around this particular park that we're in, so you get kind of a feel. And we have these throughout Scottsdale, which is pretty nice, but this is one of the nicer ones. And I'll go ahead and cover that for you next. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, we're here at a park called Chaparral Park. It's in South Scottsdale. It's just a couple miles from Old Town, but this sits on 100 acres. It's a very popular place for people that live down in this area. They just want to get out and come hang out with family or friends, or you'll see they got park benches. They got a number of these little benches around the park. You can come out and sit and relax. You can also, hey, slow down. See what I was telling you earlier? I was telling you about the fast cars. You got to be careful. Anyways, you can fish in this lake. My understanding right now, you can catch a lot of catfish. So if you like catfish, hey, you can keep what you catch. Occasionally they do have some trout in here, but that's more in the wintertime. In the next month or two, they'll have a few trout, but it gets too hot here in the summertime because the depth of this lake's about, I think they said about 20 feet in the middle. But This lake around, you got a 100-acre park, and the lake itself is around 8 or 9 acres. So there's lots of things you can do in and around the park. They've got, and I'll show some other video that I've taken about the park, but they've got an area that you can literally walk around the entire park. It's about 2 miles in length. Along the way, they've got the exercise station, so you can definitely get a good workout in. Like I said, you can come out and hang out at the benches over here. If you can see over my shoulder here, there is they do have some covered cabanas around the park. They've got basketball, they've got volleyball. So plenty of room to spread out, come down, have a birthday party, or you just want to hang out and have a barbecue. Oh, and these cabanas do have little barbecue areas, so you can come down and cook and do things like that as well. But it's a neat little place. I used to live down here back in the day, and I would come down here frequently and exercise around the park. But you'll see people out there walking and running and doing the different exercise stations. But it's a lot of fun, especially on a day like today. Check out this sky, huh? Not a cloud in the sky. Don't think. Haven't seen one anywhere. But anyways, we get a little spoiled living here. But so that's going to wrap up the pros and cons video here of Scottsdale. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I say, if you have any comments, just go ahead and comment down below. Hey, have you been here? I'd love to know if you've lived here, been here, thinking of moving here, and would love to stay in touch with you. So until next time, we hope that we have the opportunity to show you around town.